I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some for free. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bare ass like a brat.
I said I'm sorry.
But the humans are still stinking up the place. Down to business. I don't have all day for you, so what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
I'd like to get hold of that broken sword of his.
You'd hazard your soul for a piece of iron? Fool. I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you. Because this reeks of hell.
There's something else I need to know about this hermit.
Ask then if you must.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. But all right, if you insist, you go through Apollonia along the path below the rocks till you reach the point where it crosses the stream. And from there, you take the path uphill to the left, leading into the rocks.
Who's this hermit fella, anyway?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to go to him for various healing ointments or advice.
And what has he got to do with this apparition?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. Just like that. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone who goes to see him packing. Mark my words. He sold his soul to the devil to get better. And the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl for unwary souls.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the Butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
What would you like?
What happened to Ambrose the hermit?
He's at death's door with some ailment, and there's a peculiar talk about him. They say he made a pact with hell.
I hear Ambrose the hermit has some old sword.
A few folks saw it at his place some years ago, but then it disappeared. Maybe he sold it, or chucked it out.
I was told Stanislav the herds boy saw the devil in the rocks.
God in heaven save us. It happened a few days ago. He saw him with his own 2 eyes.
What do you know about the apparition at the cross?
It's all God's holy truth. Gerda from the apothecaries saw the devil there. Take care.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to ask you about something.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Go away, please.
How about a couple of groschen for a couple of questions?
What was it you wanted to know?
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened with the apparition.
It was the day before yesterday. I was picking marshmallow roots above the rocks. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree not far from the road to Tachov. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly realized I didn't have my knife.
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front of me. He was all in black and he was grinding his teeth. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark and this clanking sound, and I just turned and scarpered.
That's all?
At one point I turned around and I saw a dark shadow darting across the field. Proper flying along it was, like the devil, and heading straight to Apollonia.
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some innocent's death. They say some years ago, a young fellow killed himself on account of an unhappy love affair. He jumped from a cliff.
And the day after you saw the apparition, the cross was at an angle?
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it. I didn't go back. I can't.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's going to make fun of you anymore. I'll find out what it was all about and what you really saw there.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all the saints, thank you. But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it worth your while.
Gerda really did see something. That cross hides a secret. Whoa! God! Whoa! The conciliatory cross. An old memorial to some unfortunate event. This is where Gerda saw the apparition. I'll need a spade for this. Take either the coin or the books. So it wasn't a thief. It must be something else he was after.
Greetings. You've got blood all over you.
I hear you saw some diabolical apparition. Is that true?
Was it the bailiff who sent you? Or old Croper?
No. I want to go to Apollonia to see Ambrose, the hermit. I've heard talk he's somehow linked to that apparition. So I need to know what you saw that night.
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal. It reeks of fire and brimstone.
Look, mate, I'll gladly give you a few groschen, but spit it out now. Here you are.
What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the crossroads?
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into Apollonia. His eyes glowed, and his horse was black as charcoal. He turned this way and that a couple of times at the crossroads, and then darted off into the rocks. To the hermit's place, I'm sure.
He turned this way and that? That's strange. Would the devil not know the way?
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary saw him too.
But the hermit helps people though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to the devil. And that was the horseman.
Why? Why would the old man have sold his soul to the devil and then kept living as a pauper in his hut?
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Some devilish trickery for sure. See you soon, my friend.
Huh. A horse? What's it doing here in the woods? I should take a closer look. A beautiful horse. Black as charcoal. The herdsboy wasn't lying. And you don't smell of brimstone. You're just an ordinary horse. Someone really did come to see the hermit. But it wasn't the devil.
You've no business here, fella. Go back where you came from. I don't want to set eyes on you ever again.
Judging by what I've heard about you, you're a bit fishy, hermit.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of talk about you in the village. They say you've made a pact with the devil, and are summoning demons from hell.
Old wives' tales. What do I care about such nonsense?
Well, but supposing it isn't nonsense?
Of course it is.
The apparition was seen by the conciliatory cross at night.
Old wives' tales.
I went to take a look, and it really is askew. But it wasn't magic that Hellspawn was wielding. It was a shovel. There was a hiding place beneath the cross. And the man digging there at night didn't have time to put the cross back in the right position.
By all the saints! So someone was digging there. What has that to do with me?
There was a brand new cloak of the Knights of the Cross in the hiding place. It's clear that the man doing the digging hid it there. Maybe to cover up who he really is. And what he's planning.
I still don't know what you want from me. What have I got to do with some cloak?
The man who took things from the hiding place can't have been some chance thief. Because he left a purse full of coin there.
So keep the groschen, lad, and stop pestering me. It's nothing to do with me.
I found some pretty interesting documents of the Order.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I reckon you do, Ambrose. According to one of the documents, you were appointed Seneschal of the Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Or are you going to tell me it was some other Ambrose?
I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know anything about any documents.
A few nights ago, a herdsboy saw a black horseman ride into Apollonia. He thought it was an apparition, but I think a demon would have known the road to Apollonia and wouldn't have spun round and round at the crossroads like a top.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I found a black horse stabled in a pen here. In the woods below the rocks. A well-fed, healthy horse, black as charcoal. The man who rode on it wasn't an apparition. Or the devil.
Why are you telling me all this? For God's sake! Stop this nonsense right now.
That's enough. I think there are enough fishy things going on around you for me to tell the bailiff. But you're in luck. All I'm after is that broken sword. So, come clean.
You're wide of the mark. But in the end, maybe you could help me.
What do you want help with, Ambrose?
I'm not Ambrose. He died some time ago. I am Conrad, Knight of the Cross with the Red Star.
What are you doing in the hermit's hut then?
In Prague, I got into a serious dispute. Ambrose was the only person who could help me. That's why I came to see him.
I'm guessing that the diabolical horseman scaring people round these parts was you.
That was not my intention, believe me.
Ambrose is dead, you say? How did it happen?
He was an old man. Unfortunately, he was already at death's door when I found him.
And you had nothing to do with his death?
Of course not! Ambrose was my friend. I'd known him for 20 years. He was a good member of the Order, and an outstanding teacher.
Ambrose was a member of your order?
More than a member. He was the Seneschal, second in rank only to the Grand Master. He served the Order for many years before getting into a dispute with the Prague chapter and the Inquisition. Then he had to disappear. I was the only one to know where to look for him. But I came too late. All he managed to tell me was his last wish.
You scared the life out of Gerda from Troskovitz that night. What were you doing there?
Ambrose had a hiding place beneath the cross where he kept things from his past.
I found some documents there from the Knights of the Cross. But Ambrose clearly wasn't interested in them. So what did he send you to get?
He sensed that death was coming for him. He wanted me to help settle his affairs. And he also longed to hold his old sword in his hands one last time. I went to his hiding place that very night. But by the time I got back, Ambrose was dead. I put the blade on his grave, in place of a cross.
So the sword is on Ambrose's grave. Will you tell me where I can find it?
You want to disturb his rest?
I just want the sword, that's all. It's no use to him now.
All right. I'll tell you where his grave is, if you fulfill Ambrose's last wish instead of me. I can't do it.
All right. What am I supposed to do?
Listen carefully, then. There's an old widow called Margaret living in the village. Take this cross to her, and say to her exactly these words. Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
That's right.
I hope she'll know what this is about.
Don't worry, she will. Give her the cross, and I'll tell you where you can find the sword. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Jesus Christ be praised.
This might seem strange, but I'm supposed to give you this.
A cross? Mother of God. What is the meaning of this?
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what he deserves.
Ambrose? The hermit?
It was his wish that I give you the cross and the message. He said you'd know what it's about.
Oh my God! By all that's holy, it couldn't possibly be him. All those years, I'd lost hope. I never forgave myself. I committed a mortal sin.
Well, I don't know what you did. But this is supposed to be your absolution.
No, there's no absolution. Not yet. You said it yourself. Not until Ambrose's brother gets what he deserves. The bones. They still lie there outside the wall. Help me. His soul must find peace.
All right. I'll help you. But you'll have to tell me more.
Thank you, lad, thank you. But not here. We must go to the graveyard. That's where my curse lies.
Let's go then. There's no time to waste.
Here it is.
What does the graveyard have to do with absolution?
Hold on. Not so fast. I'll tell you everything. First, tell me... Are you afraid of the dead?
It's the living I'm more afraid of than the dead.
One should fear the dead. But in the end, it's probably a good thing that you have no fear. You see, one poor soul is waiting for redemption. For years and years.
Ah, I get it now. Ambrose's brother has to get what he deserves. This is about the soul of Ambrose's brother.
His name was Jan. He lies outside the graveyard wall, buried without rites. He's been there for 30 years.
Why doesn't he have a proper grave?
Because suicides can't enter the kingdom of heaven. They have to be buried outside the walls, like the unclean. The worst thing about it is that Jan didn't kill himself. He didn't deserve such a dishonourable burial, and it's my fault. I said nothing.
What happened to him?
The memories are painful. We were childhood friends, and Jan loved me. Only, I chose his friend Vashek over him. He couldn't get over the rejection. So he lay in wait for Vashek one evening.
And Vashek killed him?
It was an accident. They quarrelled. Jan drew his sword first, and Vashek had to defend himself. Apparently, they got close to the cliff edge while they were fighting, and Jan fell. When they found his body at the bottom of the cliff, people thought he'd killed himself. The only one who didn't believe it was Jan's brother.
Did you see it? Were you there?
No, but I believed my Vashek. He would never have lied to me. It pained him till the day he died. And he lived in fear of Jan's brother creeping up behind him one day and taking his revenge. In the end, that fear ate him up from inside.
Why didn't Ambrose avenge his brother Jan's death? He must have realised that you two were involved in it.
He went away to Prague and joined an order of knights. He didn't want revenge, most likely. He let us live in peace.
But then he came back and became a hermit in Apollonia. It never occurred to you that it was him?
No. His name was Adam before, but he changed it to Ambrose. Besides, he got old. And I don't go to the cliffs much.
Ah, the conciliatory cross where they saw the apparition. That's to commemorate Jan.
His brother Ambrose had it built there. And those diabolical apparitions. It's my fault for saying nothing. God is punishing me for my sins.
Nonsense. God wouldn't use a diabolical apparition to scare you, would he? And what's more, Ambrose forgave you, didn't he?
Only on the condition that Jan's bones will be laid to rest in consecrated ground. Help me lay him to rest in a proper grave, please.
But without telling the priest and gravedigger. Isn't that sacrilege?
That's the only way we can put right a terrible mistake. Jan didn't kill himself.
All right. We'll give him a proper burial. Jan's soul has the right to eternal rest.
Thank you. The Lord will pay you back 100-fold. There's a rose bush outside the graveyard wall. You'll find his bones beneath it. Please bury him beside my Vashek. Here, beneath the pine tree. In that way they'll be reconciled at least in death. Then place Ambrose's cross on his grave to bless their reconciliation. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Intercede for my forgiveness, and may their souls find eternal salvation. I know my silence was a sin.
Your journey ends here, Jan. I don't know what you have on your conscience. But rest in peace. I don't know much about prayer in these situations, but... Our Father, there are many sinners in this world, but in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do. So forgive me this little sacrilege. You know better than anyone that it was the right thing to do. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven, and deliver us from evil. Amen.
Amen.
Ambrose's brother Jan got what he deserved, just as the hermit wanted.
I saw that. May his soul find peace at last.
And yours too, Margaret.
30 years. I thought about it every day.
It's all right now. You did the right thing. Everything else is beyond the law of man.
I'd like to reward you somehow.
I expect you wouldn't want anyone to hear about all this, right?
Well, if you... Will you keep it to yourself?
All right. I'll accept the coin, and that'll be the end of it.
Thank you again for your help. God be with you, Henry. It was good to see you, my friend.
Hey, fella! Listen, we need help!
What happened?
We are Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Good brothers in Christ. I'll explain everything, but there's no time now. We have to act fast. Our brother Glesgan is dying. The crazy fool shot him. Help us.
All right. We'll have a quiet talk. What happened?
If you're going to see the hermit, Be warned. The man in the hut is just pretending to be the hermit. His name is Conrad, and he's a fraud and a murderer. The Inquisition paid him to murder our Grandmaster Zdeněk in Prague. Fortunately, God did not let him carry out the crime. But 2 of our brothers were killed by Conrad when they tried to detain him.
And I see a third one will soon join them.
He was just about to flee from here as well. We took him by surprise, but he had time to grab that damned crossbow and shoot Klezgin. By the Virgin Mary, help us. We have to catch him.
You're a knight of an order?
Yes. I am Brother Arnold, a knight of the cross with the red star. And these are brothers Sibald and Nicholas. You are too late to make the acquaintance of Brother Klezgin, I'm afraid. We take care of the sick in infirmaries throughout the land. But we can't help our brother. You have to help us, while there's still time.
Why should I get mixed up in it?
I'll pay you. We just need to distract Conrad's attention, that's all. Otherwise, we won't have a chance against his crossbow in that gorge.
That swine tried to deceive me. He mustn't get away.
God, thank you. Try to get close unseen, and set fire to the haystack on the right-hand side of the yard. Then his crossbow will be useless. But do it quickly, before he gets away.
Hey! Stop right there! Halt, or I'll shoot.
Wait, Conrad! It's me, Henry!
Don't move a muscle, I mean it!
I don't know what's going on here. I just want to talk with you in peace.
I understand, but there's no time for talk now.
They sent me after you, but I'm not your enemy.
I don't believe you. I don't believe anyone anymore. I don't want to kill you. Go away.
I can help you. Let's talk.
All right. But make it quick. And no sudden movements. Agnosco fortunam Carthaginus. What do you want?
You wanted to run off and break our agreement.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Why do they want to kill you?
Why? They want to silence me. I had proof of our Grandmaster Zdeněk's treachery. But they are blind. They refuse to believe me.
What about the murders? Did you really kill 2 brothers of the Order?
I had to defend myself. I'd be dead if I hadn't killed them.
Where can I find Ambrose's broken sword?
It's not far. At the edge of the meadow up there are 2 entangled birch trees. There's a grave beneath them, and the sword is on the grave.
That's all I need to know.
There's no time to go into it. Sorry, young man. You got mixed up in a game of high stakes, and there's no way back.
Well, in that case, we'll play that game out together. Just let them come.
Thank you, friend. Benedictio Domini sit tecum. I know the truth, and I can tell you. But if you'd rather try to kill me, come on!
Fuck you, whoreson.
Slice him up!
Take that fucker out, damn it!
Swine!
Fuck! Another one!
Oh, shit!
Let's see what you're made of, you bastard!
Thanks to God and the Blessed Virgin.
Damn it. What was that all about?
I think I owe you an explanation.
Yeah, you're right. Let's hear it then.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Why were they trying to kill you?
I had proof that our Grand Master Zdeněk had betrayed the Order and was conspiring with the Prague chapter. But it was turned against me. Damned Inquisition. First they chased out Ambrose, and now me.
That's all I need to know.
And that's an end to it. This is in return for your silence.
Thank you. I won't say a word. Don't worry.
Farewell, friend. Go with God. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Where's the hermit's grave? It ought to be somewhere around here. Now that's what I call steel. It may be broken, but there's hardly a trace of rust.
God bless. What would you like?
So I'm back, Master Blacksmith.
Excellent. How did it go with the hermit?
He's dead.
What? Did you?
No, not me. It just got a bit complicated. Anyway, it turns out old Ambrose really used to be a knight. And this really is Toledo steel. You were right, Blacksmith.
God's nails. That's quite something.
First class welded steel. Ambrose must have broken the sword himself, deliberately. It wouldn't have just happened in battle.
That's exactly what we need. See now, youngster. My clever plan worked out nicely in the end.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your, clever plan.
You haven't disappointed me yet, lad. So I'm sure forging an exceptional sword won't be a problem for you either.
Wait, I thought you wanted to do it yourself. I'm just your assistant, after all.
Not at all. I trust you. One day you'll become a master. That is, unless you lose your head first.
That looks good. Now just to temper it.
What would you like?
I've got something for you, Blacksmith.
God's nails, you weren't bullshitting.
I'd say it looks pretty much like a sword, eh?
Looks like. This is a damned fine piece of steel. Damned fine.
Thanks. I was glad to help, but now there's something I need from you.
I'll pay you, of course. And if you want to do some smithing, I won't throw you out of my forge either.
No, you know full well what I need. I have to get to Samin's wedding.
Why is it so important for you? It'll just be a lot of people stuffing their faces. You can find that anywhere.
I have my reasons, and you don't need to know them.
God's nails, lad. You're full of mysteries. But whatever, that's your business. I don't mind taking you to the wedding. Nothing to it. We can set off once you're ready.
Too bad.
You have a kind hey, Matt?
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I know now how it is with the apparition you saw by the cross.
Really? So tell me, who did I see at the cross? It still keeps me up at night.
It was Conrad, an old friend of the hermit Ambrose, and a knight of the cross with the red star. Ambrose sent him to dig up his secret hiding place, and you surprised him there.
I surprised him. I'm the one who almost dropped dead. Have you got any proof? So I know you haven't just made it all up.
I talked to Conrad, and he owned up to everything.
My God, you spoke with that apparition?
There's no devil here, and never was. This was nothing more than a dispute between their order and the Bishop's Inquisition.
Thank God that's all there is to it. And may the old hermit's soul rest in peace. And thank you, too. If you need anything from the apothecary, I'll put in a word with my husband. He's very good. And take this book. It might come in useful for you. Or you can sell it.
See you soon, my friend.
Was kann ich dir heute Morgen anbieten?
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
I'd like to get better at writing.
All right then, but it'll take a while.
I'd like to learn something.
What are you interested in?
Would you show me which herbs you pick?
All right then, but it'll take a while.
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
Well, the mysteries of alchemy don't come for free. I'd be happy to pay for some.
All right then, but it'll take a while.
Gee, how can I help you today, friend?
Can we go to Samin now?
Henry, have you been in the heat for too long, or what? We're going to a wedding, not a damn battle.
Is there a difference?
Listen, lad, stop fooling around and spare me your wisecracks. Take that armor off and put on something decent.
Can we go to...
Wasn't too hard, was it? You're looking quite spruce, in fact. I don't have to worry about you showing me up anymore.
Good to hear. Should we go?
Hold your horses for a while, Henry. I need to wash and change too, and then we can go.
Welcome, blacksmith. We were beginning to worry.
I bet you were. I'm bringing a wedding present.
Look who's finally here. Welcome, Radovan. And Henry.
Sir?
Well, do you have it?
Of course. Your son deserves the best. You can take it.
No, hold on to it. I'd be glad if you gave it to Older yourself.
I'd be honored.
Has Lord von Bergov arrived yet?
Henry, that's none of your business.
It's all right, Radovan. I understand his curiosity. Lord von Bergov isn't here yet, but Chamberlain Ulrich assures me he'll arrive any moment now.
Sir, could I ask you to introduce me to Lord von Bergov?
God's nails. I'm sure his lordship will have nothing better to do than talking to my apprentice.
We'll see, Henry. Now, unfortunately, I have other things to attend to. What are those beggars still doing by the gate? I thought I made it clear I wanted them gone, didn't I?
I drove them off, but they came back. They just won't take no for an answer.
At least close the gate for now so the guests don't see them. They must be gone before Sir Otto arrives. Do you understand?
Oh dear, you seem rather worried. Would it have to do with your guest of honor?
I'm afraid of it ending up in disgrace. I wouldn't want Sir Otto to take offense and leave before he gives Older his blessing.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, Henry. It's nice of you to offer your help, but I can't ask that of you. What kind of host would that make me?
Don't worry about it, sir. Since Henry is volunteering, why not take up his offer? If he proves himself, you can introduce him to Lord van Berghoff as a reward. If that's what he wants.
I promise I won't bring shame to you.
Oh, we'll see. I've got to make some arrangements with the cook, but come and see me later. In the meantime, you can introduce yourself to the bailiff's son, Svatopluk, over there. You're the same age, so I think you'll get along just fine.
That's right, Henry. Svatja. He's fun to be around. God's nails, I bet he'll show you the prettiest girls around.
There's plenty of other entertainment, too. Bailiff Thrush is holding a dice tournament, and Captain Gnarly a dueling contest. In short, a proper wedding. Eat and drink to your heart's content. Rejoice. It's a big day for Samin.
One more thing, sir.
What else? Did I forget something?
They're, weapons.
Yes, of course. Please leave your weapons with Tuma. You surely understand, it's for security.
All our weapons?
Well, the wedding present is an exception, of course. Keep it safe, Radovan.
Give us all